Episode 55 coming at you live. Ooh, that rhymed. And like I said, this is February 24th, and it is episode 55 of Three Things with Ian. On today's episode, we will discuss a book I just finished. I've been on a tear recently, it feels like. Let's talk soccer. Let's talk Messi and MLS. What does it mean to have the greatest player in the world playing on the American soil? And lastly, let's talk about Paddington 3, Paddington, Peru. Why is Paddington the bear such a timeless, treasured bear? Mammal. Okay, so let's dive in. Just finished either book 4 or book 5. I cannot keep counting, keep straight. Orbital, a novel by Samanth Harvey, 2024 Booker Prize winner. I don't always read Booker Prize winning books, but when I do, I often enjoy them. Anyway, that is a big prize. That is the number. That is like the Pulitzer. That is like the best picture Oscar. The Booker Prize is a huge deal for authors. I do try to always pick out the Booker winners and read them. Anyway, this book is a very tight book. It's about 200 pages. Shogun, it is not. It's one day in the lives of 6 people working on a space station above Earth. Time frame, maybe 5 to 10 years in the future. We don't quite know. As you might not know as well, space stations generally orbit the planet 16 times every 24 hours. So that's 16 sunrises and sunsets. This is not a book about exploration or adventure. It's a very quiet book. It's a meditation on what it means to be human, prompted by a lot of personal reckonings, right? We follow 6 people. They all have varied backgrounds. We have some cosmonauts. We have some Asian astronauts. And they're facing a lot of dilemmas as they float around, as they fall around. They're falling at 17,000 miles per hour, right? And they're floating 250 miles above the surface of the Earth. This book was good. It is essentially a space pastoral. It's kind of space poetry. There's some musings on what it means to be human, what exploration means, how do we deal with the infiniteness and the finiteness of space and time. It's a beautiful book. I could spend an episode just reading you different passages that I found particularly beautiful and eloquent. Samanth Harvey is a gifted writer. I had not known her work before this. It is a beautiful novel. It is about space, but it is not a space book. There are no, there's no adventure per se. They're just doing their science experiments, and you get some backstory, right? I figure if this is going to be a Netflix series in a couple years, there's going to be episodes that follow each character and kind of go into their backstory. There's a massive, like super typhoon that's engulfing parts of the Philippines and Indonesia, and there's hints of it being not apocalyptic or anything or dystopian, but like climate change has rendered these storms even more dangerous. So maybe it's like 5-10 years in the future. Not really sure. Anyway, the book is called Orbital. You should read it. I think it will stick with you for a long time. It is essentially, like I said, beautiful space poetry. Who doesn't love that? Okay, let's talk MLS. Lionel Messi. I don't know the exact pronunciation of the Golden Boy, but anyway, Lionel Messi plays for Inter Miami in the MLS. The MLS is Major League Soccer. It was founded in 1996. It is relatively new if you think about Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace of the Premier League being founded in the mid-1800s. The MLS is it's a newborn in terms of global soccer. And we've had some exceptional international players join the MLS. Ibrahimovic, who was this crazy Swedish player, phenomenal player. Beckham changed the league, right? He made it kind of must-see television. Make no doubt about it, Messi is the MLS's golden boy. And a lot of players, it sounds like, players, managers, people involved in the league are kind of like, maybe not over it, but the fixation on him, they feel like kind of undercuts. It's too much about him, right? But I think we got to flip the narrative here. I think it means a lot to American soccer. I mentioned this before on the podcast that I work with a lot of young adults, and it's soccer kits everywhere. Soccer is what's played on the playground. It's what's talked about. It's a big deal. By any metric, it's the fastest growing sport. We're competitive on the major league level, on the global level in terms of the World Cup and qualifying. This season is going to be about Messi still. We might have one more season where he just gets all the headlines and sells the tickets. I myself went to Chicago at the chance of seeing him play. He didn't even play that game. He was injured. This is a commercial boon for the MLS. He's also like incredibly good still. It'd be one thing if he came here to like enjoy early retirement, but he's scoring and he's assisting at a rapid level. His team, Inter Miami, there's a lot of players on the team. The team he plays on broke the record last year for the most points in the regular season. Dave Beckham owns the team. Celebrities frequent them. They sell out. Apple TV has made a lot of new fans of the sport by including the MLS package as part of their viewership. Is the MLS dependent on Messi? I hope not. I think there are a lot of good players. Obviously, players at that caliber coming to the MLS, it's not often. He's very good still. He's must-watch football. When he gets the ball, people stand up. It's just a thing you do. You take out your camera. You take out your phone, which is the same thing these days. Let's not talk about this in terms of good or bad. Let's just say right now the MLS is Messi. He is the MLS. He's the Beckham. There'll be a place in time. There's always rumors of everybody from Neymar, De Bruyne, Benzema, super awesome players who, to be fair, are not in their Modric maybe, the Mag Croatian. Anyway, these players are past their quote-unquote prime, but they're still phenomenal athletes, and they will elevate the game, and they are going to be better than the majority of the 20-somethings around them. So let's enjoy the MLS while it lasts. I hope it lasts for a long time. Part 2 to this story we'll get to tomorrow. I'll talk about relegation promotion and why that may be not the greatest thing for American soccer and maybe why it's not the greatest thing for European soccer anymore. So famously, promotion relegation means if you're the bottom 3, you move down to sort of the minor league level, like the level below. The top 3 are promoted. We'll talk about that more. But right now, the MLS, it is the Messi Show. Let's just embrace it. Let's just take it for what it is. His sons are here. Maybe they'll be more fixtures on the American side, even though they're Argentinian, obviously by birth. Anyway, that was my number 2 story. Let's talk about Paddington Bear. Oh my goodness, what a comfortable, milky toast of a bear he is. His enduring legacy. There's obviously a multitude of books which capture his kindness and politeness and just him being the Brown family and all the please and thank yous and the just unwavering optimism and gentle nature of Paddington have won over fans for decades. Had the pleasure of watching Paddington in Peru, Paddington 3, I'm going to call it. Weird seeing Paddington in Peru, weird talking about Peruvian bears being a fixture. When I think of Peru, I think of a lot of things. I don't think about bears necessarily, but I guess Paddington is our Latinx person of the year. Why is Paddington such a comfortable, enduring book? Well, there are a couple reasons why. I talked about the kindness and politeness. I think that the outsider's perspective is always fun as readers, and we enjoy seeing somebody thrust into an environment, a location, right, where they don't understand what's going on, and they have that journey of understanding. They have those misunderstandings that are humorous, where he puts a toothbrush in his ear, and there's cultural things, and we like to laugh at ourselves and appreciate our own quirks, right? Paddington is a symbol of welcome and inclusion in a world where we are desperately in need of more of that, right? Paddington is a refugee, right? He has immigrated to London, to Britain. Please look after this bear. That's the tag on his shirt, right? Invokes empathy, underscores the importance of compassion, something we are desperately in need of more. Part of the timeless appeal is the books of it. It's the literature of it. It's the old-timey book. It's the smell of those pages and the charm, and it transcends generations. And I love the Paddington movies, probably more than I ought to. Paddington 2 is a phenomenal film. Just Period. End of statement. Not even a great kids film. It's just a great film. The 13 minutes where we're in the prison and we are cooking, and he mistakenly puts something pink in the clothes and all the jumpsuits, the black and white stripe motif, they're pink. That's fantastic, right? I mean, Paddington Bear represents the best of humanity. I know I'm really overstating this, but I do think that the wholesome comfort that he provides us, his accent, his sense of comfort, reassurance, of doing the right thing even when things are going wrong all around you, and the ability to find joy in simple things, we have got to embrace that right now, guys. This is what we have going on. I wish I was coming to you in different times. I'm not. This is the time that we're in, and Paddington in Peru. I watched it this weekend in the theaters. And I really enjoyed it, and I think that Paddington the Bear is a special bear, a special person. He's a person to me. And it definitely resonates with me, and I think for a lot of you guys as well. So anyway, this is an episode where I shared with you a new book, Orbital by Samanth Harvey, 2024 Booker Prize winner. Space pastoral, space poetry. We talked about Paddington the Bear, and we talked about the MLS. And yes, it is Messi's league. I'm not going to say that I'm bummed out that other players are not getting the attention they deserve, but that's where we're at right now. So go Inter Miami, and then let's just see who else comes after. There's going to be a long line of great athletes who want to spend their retirement years playing the greatest game. I embrace it. All right, I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.